Hello and namaskar. Today is actually going to be a very exciting video and something different from what we normally do because we actually have a new shipment here of products straight from Ubiquiti, as you can see, and we're going to talk a bit more about what these products are and how you can do a setup of these products. So before we open up these products and look into it and see what the unboxing is like and see what the setup is like, for anyone who is new to us joining here, UniFi is basically Ubiquiti's Enterprise WiFi solution, which lets you set up very powerful internet and very powerful networking systems in your home and your office at a fraction of the cost of most of the other enterprise vendors, and also without any licensing fees and no controller costs. So this is a very, very good solution if you're looking to upgrade your Wi-Fi, if you're looking to set up enterprise Wi-Fi. So let's talk a bit about what exactly we have in this box out here, and let's look more into it with the details. So first we have the UniFi Dream Machine. If you haven't heard of this device yet, it's because it's a newer device from Ubiquiti here. You may have heard of Ubiquiti access points. You may have seen the white disc-like access points and ceilings. You may have heard of Ubiquiti or UniFi switches, security gateway routers, as well as the controller. So this is a very unique device because it's an all-in-one device. It combines 4 devices into one. So let's talk a bit more about what this is before we go into the next one. So let's open it up out here. As you can see, this has a picture of the device here, but let's open up the box very simply and carefully here. Put this on the side. And here we have the UniFi Dream Machine. As you can see, it's kind of like a capsule. It's a white, coated white matte finish. Capsule, a small device. It looks fairly small, kind of the height of your palm. And at the back, if you can see here, we have a 4-port switch as well as one Ethernet input switch port, and then we also do have the power input. So we also, in this product, what we do also get is we get this small piece of paper here, which actually interestingly has a QR code. And this is a QR code which you can use to log in and access the setup manual on the UniFi Dream Machine. So if you're not sure exactly how to set it up, you can simply scan this QR code and it takes you to the UniFi website, which has step-by-step process of how to set this device up. In addition, if you open this up at the bottom, you will also see the power cord. This right now, of course, is the US power cord because that's the device we have, but if you're buying this device in India, you're going to get the India power cord for sure. And out here at the back, you can see the other end of the power cord. So let's talk a bit more about this guy, the UniFi Dream Machine. So it's an all-in-one device, which means it combines 4 other UniFi devices into one. So first we have a 4-port gigabit switch. This is all a gigabit switch ports, so 4 ports here, output ports, so you can connect additional devices. So the very cool thing about this is that you can scale it as much as you want. So if you want to add more access points, more switches, you can always use these ports to connect additional devices, LAN devices here. And then you have one WAN port here. This is the input port. So the cable, the Ethernet cable directly from your ISP modem will go into here. And then this is your, of course, your power input, which we have shown you the power cord here. In addition to the 4-port switch, what we also do get here is an access point. This is a Wave 2 802.11 AC access point with 4x4 MIMO technology, one of the newest technologies when it comes to access points. Also, this is in the 5 GHz, and it also does have a 1.7 GHz quad-core processor. So this has a very high processing power, which makes it easier to manage multiple devices, use it when you have a larger environment with many clients. It makes it a lot more easier because it's a very kind of a powerful setup. So that's the access point. And in addition to the access point, we also do have a security gateway or your router. So if you have the UniFi Dream Machine, you don't need a separate router. Sometimes with your ISP, you might get a modem cum router, in which case you may have 2 routers and you might want to put one of the routers in bridge mode. But otherwise, if you just have a modem, any modem from your ISP which has an Ethernet output that can go directly into here, this device acts as your router. And like UniFi's security gateway, it's not just a router, but it's also a security gateway. And what that means is that it has advanced firewall policies with kind of threat management to act as an intrusion prevention system or intrusion detection system, so IPS and IDS, and a bunch of other firewall policies that can be managed through the UniFi controller. It also does have the capabilities for VLAN support, so security and traffic management can be done in there, which we'll talk about a bit more, because once we go into the controller software, we'll talk a bit more about what the traffic management and what the traffic analysis looks like. So it does have VLAN support, and the other thing that this guy does have is it has a VPN server. So for secure communications, especially right now, as more people are looking to VPN into their offices, have VPN network set up between their home and offices, this guy does also offer the capabilities of a VPN server. So as you can see here, at the back of the UniFi Dream Machine, which we haven't spoken about yet, we do also have kind of some more details about the product. You do have a QR code, the same QR code which will take you to the data sheet and will take you to the setup manual. And you do have a small button here, which is your reset button. So if you press and hold this button and keep it pressed, you also do have a reset button for the UniFi Dream Machine. So we will soon set this up, but before we set this up, let's look at the next device that we have. And let's put this here on the side here, and let's look at the next device that we have here. So the next device that we have is the UniFi Flex HD. Now this is a very, very cool device. It's one of our newest access points. So you may have used the Nano HD in the past. This actually is a very unique access point because it's not like many of the other UniFi access points that you're used to. If you see here, I've just opened up the box here, and if you see how the access point is shaped, you will see that this access point is very different from some of the other access points. So let's try and open it up here. There we go. So let's see what we have here. We have removed the access point. This is the access point here. Simply, if you hold it the correct way, it has a plastic covering. So let's remove the plastic covering, put that on the side. And you can see how easily this access point has been, you can hold it. It's a very, very mobile access point. It's very easy to use. And one of the big reasons we've launched this access point is because of its flexibility when it comes to the different mounting options. So if you remember, most of the access points recommend ceiling mounting because the way the access points are shaped, ceiling mounting is what's best for the access points. But with the UniFi Flex HD, we have designed it in such a way that it's also optimal for wall mounting, pole mounting, and even table mounting. So even if you just have a table and you just want to place the UniFi access point on a flat table, you can do that. And we totally understand that many houses and many offices are not equipped for ceiling mounting, especially if you're looking to add a new network into an office that already has been built. So in that case, the UniFi Flex HD ends up being a very useful access point given the flexibility. So if you look at this access point and you look at the bottom of this access point, let's open it up here. We have a small opening here which you can open up. Simply, very easily comes off. And then here you can see that we do have an Ethernet port. This is your Ethernet input port. And then at the bottom here, we do have some additional details about the access point, including the QR code. If you go to this QR code here, you can very easily kind of access the setup instructions for the UniFi Flex HD. And let's, for now, put this back in and see what else is there in the box. Putting this back in, and now we also have a few more things in the box here, if you can see. So one thing we do have is the PoE adapter. So you should know that all UniFi access points are PoE enabled, which means that they can be powered with PoE. So now you have the option of using a UniFi PoE switch. We have a lot of PoE switches, right from your 8-port switches to your 48-port switches. So if you have a PoE switch, you don't need this adapter. You can simply use the cable from the switch directly into the Flex HD. But in some cases, you may not have a PoE switch, in which case the UniFi PoE adapter comes into use. This adapter also allows you to mount it onto a wall because we've given the wall mount here. And then of course with the adapter will come the power cable. So this is the power cable which goes directly into the adapter. If you can see here, it's kind of, this is the adapter, this is the power cable, so it goes directly into here. And then what we do also have, we have some mounting options here. So we've given this kind of a wire. So if you're doing a pole mounting option, you can actually open up this wire and you can simply use this wire to do a pole mount of the access point. There's some additional wall mounting options here. Here's one of the mounts for the wall mounting option, and then we also do have another one here. So both these together can be used for wall mounting. And if you see, we do actually have a very simple instruction manual here, which also shows you the different mounting options, and you can always go to the QR code here and it takes you directly to our website, which shows you exactly step by step how the different mounting options work. What you also do have, which you often would need, is a bit of screws here. So this box includes screws, and these screws will be used along with the mounts. If you're looking to do a wall mount, if you're looking to do a pole mount, along with the pole mounting straps here. So now we've opened up the access points, we've seen what they are. Let me put this on the side here. And now we're going to connect the access points. So as I mentioned, first we're going to have to look at the UniFi Dream Machine. This is your router. So before you have any network, before you have any access points, you always want your router plugged in first. So first what we're going to do is we're going to set up this UniFi Dream Machine, plug it into the power outlet, and see what it takes to set this guy up. So I do have a power outlet here. I'm going to take the UniFi Dream Machine cable, open it up. I'm going to put one end, see what we have here. Put one end into the power outlet. And the other end is going to go into the power input port here. Now you can see this white blinking light. The fan starts off in the beginning and then it becomes silent. And now you can see this white blinking light. This white blinking light means that the access point still needs to be provisioned. It needs to be adopted. So we will go, there are multiple ways to adopt this, and because the UniFi Dream Machine already has the controller in here, it can be adopted simply using our mobile app or using your browser. But before we adopt it, we still need to have the WAN port cable. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the cable from our ISP router, ISP modem, and directly put it into the WAN port out here. And then let's see what happens here. And we're going to put it into the WAN port. That's the lowest port in the UniFi Dream Machine. Give it some time. And when you hear that noise, those beeping noises, and the light turns blue, it means the UniFi Dream Machine has recognized that your WAN port is not in. So it means that it has been connected to your modem. And now the rest of the setup is going to happen through your UniFi app on your mobile phone or on your computer browser. So for your computer browser, you can simply go to unifi.ui.com, or if it's on your mobile phone, you simply take your phone and you can download the UniFi Network application, and set it up. So let's see. So now we go into our phone and you can see there's the UniFi Network app. So that's the one for UniFi and for the UniFi Dream Machine. So once we open it, just a quick refresh and the UniFi Dream Machine has popped up automatically. So generally you will definitely see that if your phone is on the same network, you can
automatically see the UniFi Dream Machine there and configure it. Then we plug in the internet modem, the cable from the modem. And once we do that, it'll show that the internet is now connected. So this means now there is internet connectivity from your ISP modem to your UniFi Dream Machine. And that's, of course, very important to have. And then let's click next. And here you can see that you can give your UniFi Dream Machine a custom name. It's still in the setup phase. So you have to first name it. There's a default name Dream Machine, but of course, you can name it whatever you want to. So let's put a name in here. And then you want to create your UI.com account. So for management of your Ubiquiti, any Ubiquiti device, you will need an account. You can go to account.ui.com or you can create it from the app out here. We already have an account, so I'm going to go and click on I already have an account and log in with the username and password here. Then you have the option to turn on auto optimize. What it says here is that if you turn on auto optimize, the UniFi network will automatically detect the best settings. So we definitely want to do that. And then you get to the point where you set up your SSID. And here you do also have the option to set up a separate 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz networks. Generally, that's not necessary because the UniFi Dream Machine and any UniFi devices automatically will connect your phone to the best network available, whether it's 2.4 gigahertz or 5. But in some cases, if you want to separate out the networks and the different SSIDs for each of the frequencies, you can. Then let's talk about the updating. So we keep pushing new firmware to our devices. So you can update your firmware here. You can choose how often you want to update it. You can do it every day, every week, or every month. And then you can also select what time you want to update it. So it's a good thing to update it at a time when most people are not using it. And let's do an internet speed test now quickly. This is automatically done when the UniFi Dream Machine is getting set up. So we can see what the upload and download speed is right here and how it compares to what we are expecting from our ISPs. And very often if the speed is not what we're expecting, out here we can see it's just 49 Mbps. So we can, there are a lot of different things we can do to test if the speed is lower than what your ISP is promising you. So of course the speed is dependent on which ISP plan you have. And yeah, so this is just a review of everything here. And this is, you can, if everything looks okay to you, you can press finish. It's going to take about 2 minutes or so to set up the network. Let's forward this a bit. And we have the network now set up. So now your UniFi Dream Machine is set up and you can actually join the Wi-Fi from your phone. So here it's giving you the option on your phone to connect to the UBNT SSID that we had set up. So let's do that. The Wi-Fi is now connected to our phone and the setup is complete. Of course, what you can do is also go to your dashboard, and there's a lot you can do on your dashboard as well. Of course, we do have the mobile phone option as well, and we have the option from the desktop as well. But here, because the UniFi Dream Machine is so easy to set up from the mobile phone, let's see what the dashboard looks like on the mobile phone. This is your main page. If you ever use the controller, this should look familiar to you. This is the main page where you can see generally how your devices are, what other devices you may have. We just set this up, so it's blank in terms of the number of clients and all the statistics. But soon as you keep using your device and as you have more clients connected, you will start seeing more statistics out here.
Okay, so now the UniFi Dream Machine is all set up. And what we're going to do now is we're going to add one more device to it. And that is going to be our UniFi Flex HD. Now what we're going to do is we're going to try and set this access point up. And because we don't have a PoE switch with us, we have the UniFi Dream Machine with us, you are going to need a PoE adapter. And what is this PoE adapter? This is the PoE adapter. So what the PoE adapter does is, if you can see on one side, you have a power input, right? So you put your power input in here. And on the other side, you have two ports, RJ45 Ethernet ports. One port says PoE with a red coloring, and one port says LAN. So what this device does is basically you get to put in a normal LAN input into one of the ports, and because this power is connected to the power supply, from this PoE port, it combines your LAN input as well as your power to give you PoE output. which you can then take to the access point and power the access point. So in effect, this access point is still being powered with PoE, except that now you're using an adapter to power it. So what we're going to do here is we have some cables here. We're going to take a yellow cable that's connected to the LAN port here on one end, and on the other end, let's take our UniFi Dream Machine and connect it to one of the ports here. So if you see here, we have the UniFi Dream Machine, and we're going to put it in one of the ports here. Now I'm going to take this power cable here, put it in our power supply. So we have a power supply here. I'm going to put this in here. So you can see now that the power supply is connected, so there's a white light out here. And then once this is done, from the PoE output, from the red port, from the PoE output port, put one cable in here on this side. On the other side of that cable, I'm going to take directly into the Flex HD. This is our Flex HD access point. Let us open up the access point here. See the port here. Put it into the port. And then we can close it. And here you can see there's a light. So what we're going to have to do now is we're going to have to go into our controller, see what's going on. So let's do that now. Okay, so this is what my network looks like right now. This is my dashboard. Right now the Dream Machine is not being used too much. It's only at 6% utilization, and have one switch, and the one switch is the switch in the Dream Machine, and 2 access points. So let's click on this just to see what kind of access points we're working with. UDM base unit, and then I also have set up something called the Beacon HD, which is a mesh access point. So that's already been set up, which actually wirelessly connects to the UDM. But now let's go ahead, and if you watch my screen here, I'm going to connect the Flex HD here, put it in here. You know it's clicked in, and you can see a light, a ring light that's come on. And now let's go and look here. What should happen here is, because this is connected, there we go. So if you see, what happened right now is the Flex HD automatically was discovered by our software. So as soon as I plugged this in, the Flex HD popped up there. Right now, let's put this down. I'm gonna close this to make sure so the wire is protected. There we go. And I'm gonna put it down. And now let's go back to our controller. So this Flex HD currently says pending adoption. So you can very simply click on it here and press adopt, or if you have a lot of devices and you have it set up in this view, simply go here and there's an adopt button. There are 2 views here for viewing all your devices. And if you can see right now, it's flashing. The white light is flashing, which means it's pending adoption. Now I'm clicking on the adopt button, and now it's adopting the UniFi Flex HD, and this will keep flashing until it gets adopted. And once it gets adopted, it's going to stop flashing and it's going to get adopted here. So this should not generally take too long. In some cases, you might need to update your firmware. So, and this can also be done through here. So for example, if you look here, the Beacon HD requires an upgrade. So I can click on this button and simply upgrade the firmware. And you also have the option to set up automatic upgrades, where you can actually make sure that, say, at 2 a.m. every Monday or 2 a.m. every Sunday, your entire network gets upgraded. So you can also set that up in the settings. Okay, so it looks like the Flex HD it's still adopting. Let's see here. So we'll let it adopt. We'll let it adopt here. It's doing its work. And in the meantime, let's talk a bit about the different settings here on the dashboard itself. So of course, we looked at the devices. You can have, right now I only have 3 devices. but all your switches, all your security gateways, all your other access points are all going to show up here. And then you can also look at clients. So there are not too many devices connected here, but you can see the different clients that are connected here. And then you can also look at all the insights here. You can look at the different insights, and you can look at also statistics, which show you basically kind of what are the different softwares that are being used, what are the different web services that are being used, and you can manage your traffic out here as well. So if we see right now, the UniFi Flex HD has been adopted, right? It's been adopted here. So let's click on this and let's see what you can do per device as well. So what's very interesting, because out here you can set the WLAN groups as we had seen earlier. You can select which WLAN groups are assigned the access point. If you go into kind of the settings section, right, there we go. You can see here all your different settings for the access point. So this is completely for this one access point itself, right? So you can have different settings set up for different access points. You can have different configurations, LED lights. Here's your radios. So you have a 2G and a 5G radio. Each access point, as I mentioned at UniFi, is a dual band access point. So you have 2G as well as 5G. You can kind of change things like channel width. If your network if you're not getting the right speeds you want, you may want to try a different channel width. If the channel is too noisy, you can change the channel. It's always good to have an auto channel, but sometimes you may want to select a different channel if it's too noisy, if there are too many other devices around. And there's also something called transmit power. If you want to improve the signal of your access point, you can go ahead and increase the transmit power. Very often this will increase the speeds. So if you're seeing low speeds right now, you can go ahead and change your transmit power to high, and you will almost kind of very good chance you will see faster speeds. But it's not always a good idea. There are other downsides of kind of increasing your transmit power. So definitely something you want to generally keep on auto unless there's a reason you want higher speeds. As I said, the WLANs here, right now both these WLANs are kind of available on this access point. You can cancel it, you can change the password from here as well. If you want to disable, you can disable a certain WLAN on a certain access point, definitely something. So you're just starting off. There are various different ways you can ask questions. Of course, if you're on this video, you have some questions here, and that's great. And I'll try to answer these questions at the end of the session. But at the same time, you can also put the questions in the comment section here. If you ask us questions in the comment section of this video, we'll do our best to respond to you. Otherwise, you can always go to help.ui.com. You can access our 24/7 support team there. We have a 24/7 live chat support. So definitely go there. A lot of help articles out there, or you can even chat with someone from our team. You can go to community.ui.com and maybe get some tips and ideas from other people in the community. And finally, we do have an entire range of distributors and resellers all over India. So if you simply go to ui.com/distributors, that's where you can just talk to someone, right? You can talk to a reseller who's a local reseller, or you can reach out to one of our national distributors, and they all have teams that are dedicated to kind of UniFi and can talk to you about your network a bit more. And finally, if you still have questions, our email inbox is always open. India@ui.com is an email dedicated to our customers from India. So you should feel free to email India@ui.com, and we'll do our best to support you, or we'll lead you in the right direction with what you need. So yeah, if you're ready, if you think UniFi is right for you, and if you've kind of decided to try it out, you can definitely contact one of our distributors, contact one of our resellers, local resellers all across the country, or you can even go to our store. We do have a web store in India where we sell a select few UniFi devices. So if you're looking to buy 1 or 2 access points just to try out in the start, maybe at home, go ahead, go online, pick it up, free delivery. So of course, if you're looking at some larger networks and if you require assistance with setups, you can always contact your system integrators, contact your resellers. But if you're looking for a couple of devices itself, you can also go to our store. So thank you very much, and definitely click on the subscribe button down there, because it's a great way to be in touch with all the other videos that we're going to be posting. And check out our channel. We have some other videos. We have some unboxing videos. We have some more videos coming out. So definitely go ahead and subscribe to the channel and view our other videos.